welcome. We are live. Yes, we are live indeed. I'm
Lynn,
at
is
a
that really you? What?
yeah. I'm kind of green at the gills today. I'm at an awesome hotel in Montana. We'll leave it at that. And you might hear some phones ring. I mean, who knows? This is just the new normal right now. We can definitely. I love our topic today. Our topic is overcoming struggles, and
Yeah.
things really are a struggle if you think they are, or if you think they're not. Is really what it comes down to.
Yep.
And then you realize we struggle over things and then we conquer them and we go to something else and we're like, gosh, what were we so worried about, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so you guys know I got a little avatar that every now and then I might do this and I might just be all like that. Uh, but, and then there's times I'm just going to put Brian really big and he'll know that I'm busy and he's going to have to stall till I get back. That's
Yeah.
kind of how we're going to roll.
Or Lynn's got to go to the bathroom, or maybe she's got to give somebody towels, or I don't know, call the HVAC guy. Who
Well,
knows?
no, the thing is, it's 11 o'clock, and normally that's checkout time. We have some
Oh,
people that
okay.
stay till noon, so it should be a downtime, but we are over full, so there's people going to call to say, "Do you have rooms?" So those will be
Yeah.
quickies. But again, I thought it was going to be a struggle, but my GM, she supports me in doing this, and so I really appreciate that. And we just appreciate you guys always tuning in and being part of our audience and our family here. So
Yeah.
we really love uh Brian picked this topic and
Did.
I found some little things that like this one. Don't
Yeah.
let your struggle become your identity.
Right.
And I love that because oh, look, Scott Ricard made it with us.
Mr. Ricard. Thanks for
how,
being here, sir.
how does my sound because I got this headset and I
Sounds
oh,
fine. You
okay,
know,
great. Just
those headsets have a tendency to sound a certain way. I'll just say that, but we can hear you. Yeah.
okay,
Or at
that's
least
all.
I can. I mean, chime in, Scott. If Lynn sounds great, just let us know.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
So about this topic, what made you interested in talking about this
Well,
topic,
the
Brian?
reason, and I'm glad that Lynn didn't let the cat out of the bag, last week. But I got COVID last week, and so I was
No.
dealing with it, and I let her know as soon as the test was positive, which was last Wednesday. And just as a courtesy, we didn't have a show. So,
And
and then I go ahead, go
it
ahead.
wasn't my story to tell. So, and
Right,
I was hoping that everything went well, so I wouldn't have to like tell anybody that what was going on with you. But I'm grateful that how are you feeling with
right.
that?
I'm
Hi,
fine.
Debbie.
You know, Besides fatigue and getting tired and stuff like that,
Go ahead,
I don't know
Brian.
what I don't know, but I don't have any of the issues, and I'm just truly blessed that I got the case that I got, and we're moving on. You know what I mean? So, did I hear about
Yeah,
doing?
that's what?
Oh my,
Even if I didn't say quickies, it's something I would say. So I'll have to believe that I said a quickie.
there's a
And
different context.
yeah. Well, my past history slash I'm working at a hotel. What can I tell you? It
Right.
doesn't.
Thank you, Debbie.
Yes, I'm
So,
grateful.
so that's what triggered this whole thing, and I came up with it on Wednesday, and I'm like, overcoming struggle, and I just when I was driving, I pulled over on the side of the road, and I jotted down 5 points that really stood out to me, and obviously we know people, this isn't something small, and I'm not going to dwell on the past, but we've all been affected in one way or another by the virus, by the illness, right? And some people they're not with us anymore as a result, and some people like myself, got a lighter version. And so I'm not going to dwell on that, but it's a struggle that we didn't intend, And so the first piece that I thought about is like, okay, you can either choose to face it head on, or you can crawl in disregard and think like it never happened, right? Well, I'd rather face it head on, just like the death of my dad or my near death experience, right? You have a choice in that matter, just like anything in life. You can either face whatever's there for you head on and deal with it and not get down on yourself as a result, because there's nothing I did wrong, right? And or you can choose to be in denial about it. Well, which one is going to help you in the long term? Which one's
Right.
going to help you in the long uh, you know if you're going to let a struggle set you back, you can do that. It's a choice, but you don't have to. And it's all the matter up here. So that's that kind of this whole thing that happened over the past week was the reasoning for this topic today.
Well, I'm glad you shared that. And, there's been a few times I've either been exposed or, had the
Yep.
chills and didn't know where I was with everything. But, it really takes you first. You've got to not panic. You've
Yep.
got to say, whatever's going to be is going to be.
Yep.
It's for one, it's out of your control. But you can take that moment and appreciate life and say, have I done what I could do?
Mm-hmm.
Call your loved ones, tell
Yep.
them you love them,
Yep.
and just be honest and share you're going through something. I've been in that situation many times where I just didn't know if I was going to make it, and yet I've had to be. Oh, look at he's not even he Brian's not even at a hotel and going through what I'm going through, but he's gone. So who knows? I might get a phone call and be gone too. So this might be an interesting show, and he's scaring me over here. So there we go. we got he's. I'm the one who should have the difficult time right now, but he's the one doing it. But again, it's really one of these things where you got to look at the perspective. You got to look, where are you and what can you control, what can't you control, and just make peace, and you know and just realize the reality of all the things we worry about that are out of our control, that
Mm-hmm.
we should not struggle or make it a struggle, because it's just going to continue to eat at you. It's really a mindset thing. It's really what you choose to look at in the image of things. Brian?
Correct.
Yeah.
You know, you can be in one place or another, but it's all a matter of you, right? And I just chose not to. Now, it was really weird to be set back and having to be isolated, and I'm like, what can I do? I'm like, okay, I can catch up on reading, I can catch up on all my learning, and that's really been what I did, you know. And so the next piece of it is that um is to be vulnerable and feel everything that there is, right? But without pity, without, without coddling, if you will, right? Is that just be open, be vulnerable, that it's like, hey, I'm going through this thing, for anybody that wants to know. Otherwise, I just, it's not like I'm going to broadcast it every which way, right? I mean, and
No.
that's what to definitely not do in struggle, is when it's
Right.
like you got to make it like this billboard. Everybody
Well,
else is dealing with something in life. They don't need
right.
one more thing from somebody else,
Right.
you
And
know?
that's just like when I have my asthma. I mean, sometimes I'm coughing. I'm like, whoa, 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 wait. I might need air. I might need to get some oxygen. I might do something. But if you panic, you're only making it worse than if you just say, how are we going to deal with this? Take a minute, take a deep breath, and go on with whatever you're doing or going through. And again, I mean, how many things you found yourself that were out of your control that you said, it's, it happens for you, not to you.
Correct. And the thing about it is that you can spend an enormous amount of time mentally thinking about the way that you want it to be. Well, that's great when you're feeling okay, but just remember is that you didn't have any control over this. Well, maybe that's not true, right? Unless we mask up all the time and whatever else. But we're eventually, from, and without making it a political, but I've heard people say that it's like, hey, this is such a big thing that everybody's going to get it in one way or another.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
moving on from that, it's, I chose to be vulnerable. I chose to be like, hey, I'm dealing with this thing. I'm not looking for support. I'm not looking for pity. But also, though, I'm not going to broadcast it to people.
No, but I mean, in retrospect, though, you want to at least tell people kind of what's going on, because if you're absent or you're down a little bit, you kind of hope somebody calls and looks or knocks at your door if need be. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
those are the things, or say the last words you have to with someone, kind of thing.
Correct.
I mean, I think you don't need to struggle and like call 911, so to speak. But it's one of those things where you make peace if this is going to be your last phone call or
Mm-hmm.
last thing, and say, hey, check on me in a couple days.
Yeah.
I mean, those are important things to do. I mean,
Well,
those.
and then another piece along there, because I wrote down 5 things, and so it's like, in any way possible, not make yourself wrong, right?
Yeah.
For the time that you're laid up, if there's meetings or different things, if I can't go, I can't go, and don't apologize for it, but be 100% honest with whoever that it involves, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Well.
Take that ownership of your life. Take that ownership of another person's time before your own.
Right.
You
And
know.
and that's the other thing. I mean, everyone's become very compassionate when you've been touched by that, whether it be you or family member or something like that. So at this point, if a person has a hard time with, well, we had plans and they don't realize this, there's always exceptions to the rules, and this seems to be one of them. But you
Mhm.
don't struggle about it. There's many things in the last 2 years, going on 3 years, that we've all had to compromise, improvise, uh, modify, or just deal with and accept. And that's something that we should all see, that we should have taken through this, is compassion, understanding, and just releasing and not holding it. Well, gee, Brian, it was my first day. And you know what? For me, it worked out well at the hotel. Last week, we were having mattresses delivered. It
Mhm.
was so chaotic here. I don't even know what would have happened, but I'm just saying, I think timing is everything. And I've had more patience to say, you know what? I may want this, but I can't have it right now,
Right.
or it's not going to happen right now, or those things. I'm not saying that you look for the problems, but I'm saying if the problems come up, you take those as, okay, well, let's see how we can handle this a different way. You don't need to struggle with it. You don't need
No.
to release it and let it go. You need
Correct.
to say, okay, this isn't the route we're taking a different route.
Right. Well,
you
and
know
if you choose to not think about it, if you choose not to just be with whatever it is, if you choose to do nothing with it, usually it's going to go in the reversal. It's going
right,
to go to your detriment.
right,
You know what I mean? Okay, what am I dealing with now? What do I have control over? What do I not have control over?
right,
And you make an opportunity out of it. And so
right.
the next piece of that experience was lessons learned. What
Yeah.
are the lessons I learned? You know, wow,
It's
it's great to work all day and get projects done.
right,
But also, though, it's like, okay, the power of the things I did to make sure that my body and mind was ready for this. You know,
right.
and now that's completely a choice, right? Of what somebody does or what they don't have administered to them, right? But I chose those things because I'm like, I want to be healthy, right? I
Right.
want to be safe. And so, but at the same time, how precious life is, how
Absolutely.
valuable it is to actually like go to the grocery store, even if you don't have an intention of buying anything, just to get out with humanity
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah, right? It gives you another layer of perspective when you've been in that situation, to actually reflect on your life and say, how long is this going to hold me up? How long is it not? And to
Right.
have find a lot of gratitude in that space. There, without struggles, there's no
Yeah.
progress.
Oh yeah. Beautiful.
Okay? The struggle of life is one of our greatest blessings. It makes us patient, sensitive, and godlike. It teaches us that although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of overcoming of it. And I mean, Helen Keller, what an example.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how much complaining you're going to do, and when you're not even Helen Keller? Come on.
Right. Oh yeah.
Let's be for real. I
Hmm.
mean, let's just, and I love this one too. You can't live off potential forever.
So
So
get it.
get up, get out, and get you some. Diamonds are made under pressure.
Yep. Yep.
So there's some really good ones that I just,
Hmm.
I didn't have time to design, but I'm grateful
No,
that
thank
these
you for
people.
doing
Yeah, I did that today. We
it.
develop our. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, we develop our character muscles by overcoming challenges and obstacles, Dr. Stephen Covey. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any more, 7 habits of highly effective people. I mean, I think that by that book alone and all of its successes and how many people that he's taught, I mean, he's no longer with us, but that right there speaks to the truth. But also, though, and the last piece, and it's a great segue, but it also parallels everything in those gifts that you brought up or those memes
Yep.
is about action.
Yeah.
You know, here's what's happening right now. Okay, I have no control over it, but taking the lessons I've learned, what are my actions going to be in the future? What am I going to do to set up myself in my life that if I'm laid up again, I have my things in order.
Yeah.
And I'm
It,
not talking like, you have to look at your will and stuff like that. I'm not going that extreme. But what I'm saying though is if you're laid up, you know, do you have a communication chain, right?
yeah.
Where you call certain people, or maybe even creating a text group, so a whole
Yes.
bunch of people, a message goes out, hey, I got sick, I
Rem-
wanted you to know.
Remember when we were in school back in the day? I think they did it when you were there. They
Yep.
used to do you had the fire drills. Like, you're supposed to do them at home. Where are you going to go if there's a fire and who are you going to call?
Hmm.
You know? And so, yeah. And we've almost made it our 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So this is pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I was supposed to have technical difficulties or phones going on, but Brian had the technical
I did.
difficulties. So, again, this is hilarious because we just never know. I've got about 3 more here, and then I think we're going
Yeah.
to be
Yeah. Yeah.
done. Go ahead.
Yeah, often the people who judge your life are usually the same people who know very little about the struggles you had to overcome to get where you are today. I mean, that speaks 100% to they know nothing about you and they're assuming. They're just by the exterior they're trying to assume what it really is.
Absolutely.
In the middle of every difficulty lies opportunity. Oh man, that couldn't be more true.
Absolutely. I got 2 more here.
Sure. When you fear your struggles consume you. When you face your struggles, you overcome them. Look at that, just one word difference right there. Fear your struggles versus face. Fear versus face.
And it's
You know?
everything's a choice.
Yep.
Everything is your choice. You either use it as an excuse or a leverage to go on. Like I said, here we go.
Yeah. As with the butterfly, adversity is necessary to build character in people. You know? Yeah.
So, and this is me try my green screen. That's a pop up. I was like, yeah, so that's what this looks like. And it's all folding and everything. The lights are not exactly where I am. But you know what? We made it through. I hope you guys got value out of this. I'm grateful that we're trying to do this. I'm just grateful that I have the opportunity to do this. And
Absolutely.
again, I was a little fearful to ask, but you never know unless you ask. You struggle half the time because in your head you're like, there's no way they're going to let me do this. There's no way I can do this, and you build what you don't know. Why don't you find out and make the choice from there?
Correct.
So again, it's just like I even asked my boss. I said, "Hey, I want to go in August for a whole month to travel, see my family, and do what I got to do." And I said, "And I'm worried you're not going to let me go." And they're like, "No, it's family. It's important." Blah blah blah. But
Wow.
now, but now the thing is the whole gas thing. So I might have to get me a GoFundMe for the gas thing. I don't know. But if that's what I got to do, that's what I'll do. I don't care.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying that you just never know until you ask.
Right.
Don't stress over something that you don't know if it's possible or not. You don't know until you ask. You
Correct.
don't know what doors are open or waiting for you. So before you in your mind struggle in your mind, why don't you talk out what's going on?
Correct.
And it's amazing how doors open when you say, let me check every avenue possible. So I don't know your final thoughts there,
Yeah.
Brian.
So number one is that everything that happens to you in life, and I learned this from experience through therapy, through heartbreak, through losing people that I value, is however you're feeling or whatever's going on in your head, you can either let it out or you can keep it in. And I refer to it as like, when you add some heat to like a boiling pot,
Yeah.
eventually all of that resignment, all the times where you choose not to share, it's like a piece of Velcro, right?
Yeah.
All of the meaning you're attaching to everything that happens to you builds up, and eventually the pot bursts. But the pot in this metaphor is your brain.
Right.
You're going to, like, somebody's checking you out at the grocery store or you're at the convenience store and you blow up at somebody. It has absolutely nothing to do with that person, number one. Number two, it's an accumulation of things that you did not complete or did not declare. Write out, talk to people about.
Yeah.
So in short, if you're ever facing struggle, for anybody that's watching this, all of our love community and everybody that loves Lynn and I, and we love you back, do not stay put.
Yeah.
Whenever you're in struggle, do something. Tell
Yeah.
somebody, write about it. Get it out there, because number one, you'll feel a lot better. Number two, by you writing down your thoughts, more than likely opportunities are going to come from it and you're going to feel better.
Absolutely.
100% of the opposite of somebody that holds it in and then pity. Usually their diet goes down. They don't feel well. All of those normal things are just so opposite of who you normally are. So just in times of struggle, do not stay put.
Yep.
Do something. Force yourself. Have somebody call you 26 times until you get your butt out there and do your walk or whatever safely if you're suffering from something, right?
Okay, Brian, we're at 20 minutes. We're
Yeah.
out of here. I promised the hotel I wouldn't take any more than
Yeah,
that, so I
sounds
don't want to
good.
push. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you next week when Brian and I may have some technical difficulties, but one thing we're going to do, no matter what, we're going to do our best to show up without excuses.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Hold on right there, Brian.